Go. Welcome. Welcome
Welcome
back.
to the
Welcome
Xander Zone.
to the
Welcome to
Xander
this-
Zone.
Welcome. More importantly,
I
welcome
thought we were all
to
gonna say it together.
welcome to Biden's America. I'd like to start this by just giving a quick round of applause to our new president.
Everyone in the comments, comment your favorite thing about Joe Biden.
Thank you, President Biden, for making this possible. Actually, I think if you recall the last episode of this, I took an urgent phone call from then President-elect Biden. Do you remember that? That he wanted me to serve on his as Secretary of
Movies.
Secretary of Movies. So that's
yeah.
where we've been all this time. That's why we haven't
Yeah.
been recording. We've been aiding to get this
I don't know
country
if you
back
guys
on
can
track.
hear. You guys hear what I'm
No,
playing?
it sounds
right now?
awful.
No.
Turn it off.
Sounds god awful.
Hold
Turn it
on.
off.
I don't-
Turn it off.
Hold on.
Come
I
on,
was-
I'm muting
Dude,
you,
you're gonna get us fucking quit.
dude.
You're gonna get fired, man. Come on.
Come on. So yeah, this
I don't know if
podcast
you
is
guys could hear what I was
sponsored
playing.
by the United States Defense Department.
A lot has happened since we last recorded. Carter killed 3 people, I think.
You're not supposed to mention that.
Oh, sorry.
Nick
Yeah,
died.
I
of
was
COVID.
I was the one who
I did
leaked.
die of COVID. You're right.
I actually
I'm a
leaked the
ghost.
Army Hammer DMs. That was me. Something that was on my chest for a long time. I finally was able.
And
to...
I was the one that made Army Hammer do it.
What?
What the fuck?
Carter, turn off your music. You can't even hear
What? You can't hear the music?
it. Stop.
Wait, I just want to celebrate Biden's win.
This just got awful.
I just muted him. I muted you. Are you done? You're in timeout. Are you done?
Realize. You gonna be good?
All right, I asked you to unmute. You gotta accept it.
I said the
Are you
host
okay?
would like to unmute you. Yeah, I just
You-
wanted to get a quick.
Is it out of your system?
Hey,
To Trump?
Goodbye to
You're a little
Trump.
late.
Yeah,
It's
you guys
been-
wouldn't let me.
It's been a month. But okay.
You wouldn't
Um,
let me say goodbye.
We're gonna get into it.
Well, no. In fact,
get right
Carter
into
was
it.
actually at the Capitol raid.
Yeah, I was there. I was in the building. If you
Don't
know what
say
I'm
that.
saying. I was
Don't
at
say that.
Pelosi's desk. If
Don't-
you know what I'm saying.
Carter's gonna get.
Yeah, I
FBI
actually
this thing.
downloaded a copy of XXX onto her computer,
Yeah,
So
I
she could-
was.
so she
I was
might be showing
putting-
up later in the show to talk about those.
I was dropping Freddy Got Fingered MP4s.
All right, are we starting with X-Men?
No, we're
We
starting with
can.
XXX. The dangers, the Xander Zone.
You sure
I
that's
thought.
you don't want to end with that?
You
Okay.
sure you don't want to end with that?
Let's
Yeah,
end
I'm
with it. Let's
sure.
end with that.
Are you for real?
We can start
I
with
don't care.
X-Men.
Let's start with
You guys
X-Men.
hear me? Okay.
X-Men
Yes.
is the one
Why?
we watched X-Men together.
We all watched this movie together.
We all.
COVID
If you don't
safe.
know,
I think we
uh,
all.
via
We all learned a
Hulu-
little.
I just threw up in my mouth.
We watched it via Hulu Watch Party.
Yeah, which
Great
is god awful,
service.
by the way. It's terrible.
Oh, well, I
What?
guess we agree to disagree there.
Are you kidding me? Half the time our audio wasn't lined up, and you guys.
That's
were
true.
to the movie
All right, Nick, tell us what the
The
origin.
watch party feature doesn't work that well.
Tell us what the
I will
origin
say that
of
much, but
Fucking
it's a cool
cancel
feature.
Hulu. Cancel Hulu. Prime does it better. That's how we watch Tiptoes.
That is how we watched it.
We're not talking about tiptoes. in
Anyways,
this.
X-Men
That's-
Origins. Wolverine.
Nick.
But
So
we might
Nick,
have
I've
to
been
talk about
wondering.
Tiptoes real quick.
I've been
So-
wondering for years now.
I look
How-
homeless right now.
How did
Jesus.
Could you stop interrupting? Christ Almighty!
I'm
gonna mute
sorry.
you again.
I just.
I'm gonna
don't
mute you
mute me.
until until next
Nah,
time.
nah,
having
nah,
aneurysm.
nah. Hey,
But-
hey.
Before I was interrupted, this podcast is a shit show so far. I was asking Nick for years. I've been wondering, how did the X-Men start? Where?
It all
How did they
started
start?
with
Wait,
Wolverine.
how did they
maybe,
origin?
But probably not, because he actually doesn't start it. Because
Okay.
Charles Xavier is just there at the end, but we can get to that. But this is the origin story of my favorite character, Wolverine. And
One of the
directed
Your
by
favorite character of
the one-
what? The X-Men?
One of the great
all
movie
time.
Or ever.
one of the
All
great
time.
movie heroes, Wolverine. Or what was his
When I think
name?
of the best directors, I think Kubrick,
Hitchcock.
Wolverine.
Lynch, Gavin Hood. And that's the director we got.
The Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity.
Of American directors?
Yeah.
Lynch,
No, all
Kubrick, and Hood.
directors.
Let's get
Only
to the plot.
American directors are good.
People are dying to
Yeah.
know what the
People
plot
are dying
is.
to know
It's-
how
it's
did
Actually,
they
origin.
before we get started, if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend you go check it out because you don't get the origin spoiled.
Yeah.
How are you gonna understand
'Cause-
X-Men if you haven't seen the origin? Witness the origin, they say.
Witness the origin. The tagline.
Anywho, we start in like 1600, I think, or something. I don't remember the year. But our little boy Jimmy, he's sleeping in bed sick, but he isn't sick
Jimmy.
because he gets up like 3 minutes later.
It's a classic 1400s era name, Jimmy.
Jim.
Jimmy and
One of the
I can't
classic-
even remember his brother's name.
Old Jimmy Shakespeare.
Isn't
Jimmy,
his name.
who
His name is
become-
Logan, I thought though.
he changes it randomly when he fucks
Oh, okay.
his wife, but we can go to that later. And his brother Victor,
That's what it was.
but his brother Victor has a strange power where he can grow out his fingernails and scratch people. And it's pretty scary. And Jimmy has fucking hand blades and kills his abusive dad, and they join every war possible. They can't get
They-
enough.
No,
of killing
it's
people.
no.
He didn't
doesn't
realize
know.
it was
Oh, it's his
dad.
dad though.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Something
I
that
thought it was just
never
a guy.
something that never factors into the story even once beyond that point.
Yeah, he kills the guy. He's like, "I'm actually your dad," and then he runs.
No, his
Into
final
the
words. He's
war.
like, he's like,
And
he's like,
that's
"My
when they go and
son."
join every war possible.
That title sequence is bonkers. Shifts between every war.
Yeah, it goes from like killing enemies to straight war crimes so fast.
Yeah.
Logan is in the woods and he's running and then his brother is trying to kill people in Vietnam,
Already talked
Cool.
about that, but
kill children
It's
in
like
Vietnam.
a third grade presentation.
And then yeah,
Honestly,
this is 10-year-old watches X-Men Origins.
so
And,
to me that intro.
So then Logan is
intro-
running through the forest, and then there's his brother Victor is evil, and then he has a wife, but his wife dies, but his wife didn't die, but she.
This sounds like
seduced
the
him,
Inland
and then
Empire
He didn't
description.
die, and then he
This
died,
is-
and
this
then
has a lot.
but then
You could say
You're
this
gonna
movie's
get
niche.
muted again. I have all the power in the world to just do it.
All right,
But
fuck
something
the plot. What
interesting,
you guys
something
think?
interesting about that intro sequence is it really shows the kind of moral rot that comes with war. I think it's edited beautifully to really emphasize how all wars are kind of the same thing.
I mean,
When you
Logan
really-
came out fine, so
when you
maybe
really think
Victor's just a
about it.
bitch.
Logan did not come out fine, but
yeah,
all
Logan
right,
came
fine.
out fine.
he drew the
He's a
line
hero.
at. He finally drew the line at like
war crimes.
killing. That's whatever.
killing women and children who
You
are
didn't even
not
get through all the
fighting.
plot. You didn't. That was like the
Yeah,
before.
Nick,
you told
Nick
before
talked about the
credits.
first scene,
Dude, there's
and then
so
said,
much-
"All
give a-
right, let's just talk.
just give, like,
let's
a-
get
Why
to
the
the-
fuck do I
just
have
give
to
a
cover
broad-
the entire plot?
Okay, then I'll do
Just
it.
go-
Stryker comes and he's like, Victor's fucking killing people, but it's not Victor. I don't know that. Did I say
You
that?
didn't
out
even get to
loud?
the part where Wolverine quits.
Oh, yeah,
Wolverine
you
You
quits
talk
the
about
team.
that.
They do this like
no,
team.
they get put on a firing squad.
They put this. They put together this.
Oh, I
fake,
forgot about that.
They put together this like fake team that has like Deadpool and all the not X-Men yet. And
Some people might
Deadpool,
call it
and
Will I
then
am.
X-Men Origins.
and then
Zero.
Victor. No, not really, because none of them are alive to be in the X-Men, so they're not really the
They're the
origins of
team.
Oh, I
X-Men.
forgot they all died. They're the original origin. That's why they're called the X-Men.
They're the
Origins.
original
They're-
X-Men, and I guess that makes
They're not
Stryker the
called that.
fucking Charles Xavier.
Or Nick Fury, if you will. But yeah, he quits that because of whatever they want to kill people, and he's not vibing with that. And then he goes and fucks off and is a lumberjack somewhere. And then
But
his
then he
wife
changes his name to Logan, and they never explain why he does.
Yeah, and then Victor hunts him down, and that's kind of the rest of the movie goes on from there.
That was
This movie's a
another weak
fucking mess.
explanation.
This movie is a mess.
Like, I don't
Yeah,
understand how this happens.
Pretty crazy that this was a major studio release.
Pretty bad movie.
Well,
It's god
honestly,
awful,
I
but
was
it's
kind
entertaining.
I was kind of fucking with it.
I
Like,
was too. It was
pretty
good
fun.
to turn on with some friends because it gets
get the boys
crazy.
together.
It gets crazy in some places.
think
I do think it peaks a little early with them riding the motorcycle out of the burning
Oh,
building.
yeah.
I think that was,
sure.
and that whole chase seeing through the forest, I think is where the film peaks, and then
I think
from there it gets a little too slow.
we
there's-
should talk about how like nonchalant casualties are in this movie, like civilian casualties.
Yes, it's like
'Cause they really
it's like borderline problematic the way they do it, especially in the beginning, like using like African civilians as like a tragic backstory is kind of
it's so fucked. Like I
And
don't
then,
And
like-
the family that
and
for
it's
no
funny-
reason takes Logan in for
I know.
no reason. They're like, "Oh yeah, you seem like a crazy person. We'll give
You
you
remind me of
food and
my
shelter,
son."
and yeah, you can borrow my motorcycle."
just the most
Dude.
like
And then they
cliched,
just
ridiculous.
completely murdered. Logan doesn't even care. Logan's driving out of there.
He's like, all right, sweet, free chopper.
Yeah, he's like sweet,
He
free
mentions one
stuff.
thing. He mentions like they were nice people, and that's all he says about them ever.
Oh, what's
Powerhouse
funny? The funniest thing about
performance
that
from Hugh
sequence
Jackman.
is that he's great in this. I will give him that. But
Yeah, he's
funniest,
amazing.
funny,
Hugh Jackman kind
He's
of
good in
owns the
this.
character as Wolverine.
he plays it well.
So
Mm.
like it's hard
He
to detach
owns.
him from that.
He fits. He attaches to the tone this movie's
Yeah.
going for and
I would say
goes
so.
with it.
What is the tone this movie's going for? It's so
Um,
everything about it
okay,
is,
it's the
feels
origin.
so misguided.
Okay, true. But what I was gonna
Okay.
say is the funniest part about that whole sequence of the farm is that, like, okay, we just inject this guy full of adamantium or whatever. He's basically immune to everything. So they send a guy who can only shoot bullets after him, even though it's made clear that that does nothing
Yeah.
to him. And then immediately after that guy fails and is killed, they're like, oh, by the way, we have these bullets here that will kill him.
Oh my
And they
god!
just for
Yeah.
for some reason they didn't send their like expert sharpshooter with a sniper after him.
First off, they have such a clear shot. They even shoot him in the head in the beginning. If they didn't use the adamantium bullet, why not?
Just weren't thinking on it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and-
There's so many
and,
plot holes in this movie.
Well, that happens again with they attack him with something else for
No,
a
I
second
know
time.
He
Right?
comes
And
to
then they-
meet Stryker. He comes to
Yeah.
meet him and kill him or whatever, and then like Stryker's just chilling there and they're talking. That's where the stupid wife reveal happens.
Mhm.
And then Wolverine gets away, and then after that, then he goes and gets the adamantium bullets. Like, oh, now I'm gonna go after him.
That whole
And then-
scene is confusing because after they reveal the wife is alive, Logan's like, "Fuck this! I'm just walking away,"
And
and,
then
he walks
5 minutes-
away. They don't do anything.
5 minutes, and then
No,
5
but
minutes
no, he
later,
walks
comes back.
away and then he hears her scream and then he's like, I just can't
No,
help it."
no. He heard Victor.
Oh,
He didn't give
I
an F
see.
about her. He gave an F about Victor. He wanted his revenge.
It's like in Casino Royale where he gets the
oh yeah,
phone
just
call.
like that.
You know what I'm talking about? He's on the boat and he gets
Yeah,
the
two
phone
very
call,
similar movies.
and
Yeah.
they're like, she's alive, and he's like, fuck that bitch, and like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways,
Oh, yeah,
the special
yes.
effects in this movie.
Yeah,
are
you know what I'm
awful.
talking about now.
What do you mean they're awful? They're amazing.
They're
I
awesome.
think these are some of the worst special effects I've ever seen.
I recommend a little movie called Mortal Kombat Annihilation. If you want to
well, we're not talking. That's
see
barely a
the
real
worst.
movie, if we're being honest.
His
Don't say
claws
that
look-
about it.
I will.
His
say that.
claws.
The scene where he's like clinking them
so
together with
bad.
the sparks.
Oh my god, it looks like a cartoon.
It
It's
looks
so
pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, the only way we can really talk about this is just listing off bad stuff.
Hold on, I forgot if I took notes or
basically-
not.
There's a
It
lot
gets-
of jokes against
I-
fat people for some reason.
Oh yeah, it gets really bad in the middle with that whole
Oh, I forgot about
sequence
that.
with some pretty disgusting looking fat suit makeup.
Like there's this character
Oh,
that
God,
for some
yeah.
reason becomes fat after
And that's the
everything.
whole joke, is that he's fat.
And Logan's just
And
like, come here,
for some
fat
reason-
fuck. And
for some
he
reason
obviously
they
gets offended
box.
by that.
They bought that
Well,
whole
I don't know why they
it's just-
box.
it's just complete filler.
Even though Logan could obviously completely dominate him. And then
What it probably was like just fan service. I'm sure that was like a comic book character, like the Blob or whatever he was called.
What do you
was
call
a
Gambit
comic
then?
fan service? A lot of this is probably fan service.
yeah,
Like,
and-
oh,
Lamb.
you recognize this guy? Oh,
yeah,
he's
what
in
about the
movie.
magician guy? I forgot about him.
Gambit.
Oh, no, the guy who can control lights. Very similar to someone in another
fuck that
movie.
guy.
Very similar to something that happens in another movie we're going to talk about,
I
Wait,
guess so.
where he goes to the carnival. He becomes a carny.
The
Oh,
scene in
okay.
Triple X where he goes to the
I
carnival
thought-
and becomes a carny.
I thought you were talking about whatchamacallit. No, not the guy who can control the lights.
Gambit.
What the hell
No,
are you talking about?
yeah, the guy who like shoots cards at
Oh my god,
Wolverine.
Gambit. I'm telling you, it's Gambit.
it's yeah,
You said this a
Gambit.
million- It's not what we were talking about.
Jesus.
We're talking about Mary
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
from Lord of the Rings and Lost fame.
Yeah, I know that guy. I know who you're talking about now.
You're getting muted. Again.
Listen, I gotta get my sea legs back. We haven't podcasted. in
Whatever. And then the movie ends
A minute.
and Wolverine's girlfriend or whatever dies for some reason. And
And then
instead of
Charles
killing the
Xavier
bad
comes
guy,
out, and it looks exactly like Vin Diesel and Fast and Furious.
he looks very
Crossroads.
shiny and like it looks very odd. But
It
yeah,
looks terrifying.
his wife instead of killing
Yeah, I think there was
Stryker
like
is
weird
like
green screen stuff going on. It looks
No, he was
terrible.
CGI.
it was like
Oh, he was
CG
completely
or s-
CGI.
I don't
They
know.
had to de-age him.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, that makes sense. But
That
he
looks
still
so
looked-
bad.
He
But
still
you can't
looked
tell
old.
because he just
still
looks like a
looked
video
old.
game.
He just looks like that.
Oh, that's why it looks so bad. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
But and his wife kills the bad guy by not killing him, but she's like, okay, you get to walk forever now.
Yeah, but then she immediately dies. So does
She
that mean he
dies.
lives?
I don't know.
Because wouldn't that break the like curse that she put on him? or
We never
whatever?
see him
And-
again.
And then
Yeah.
Wolverine, I guess, loses memory, and then it zooms out in a weird way.
You didn't even talk about the Deadpool fight
Oh my god.
with Deadpool and Victor. Wolverine and Victor go back to back, and they fight Deadpool.
He's like,
as he
"Oh,
teleports
I guess
from
I'll-
one of them to another.
I guess I'll forgive you for committing those war crimes or whatever and
He
killing
said,
my wife.
"Only I can kill you," and then proceeds to get his ass fucking whooped.
Yeah,
by
Victor
Deadpool.
killed all of the team and his wife, and he's like,
He's like,
whatever. We have to fight back to
"Come
back
here,
here to
brother.
defeat
We're gonna work
Deadpool."
together."
And Deadpool, I forgot how bad Ryan Reynolds is. How annoying he is.
They
Well,
sew
that's
his
why
mouth
they
shut.
sew his mouth shut. He's the
Yeah, that's the
merc
best
without a
decision.
mouth.
That was the best decision made in this movie, was doing that.
I never watched the Deadpool movies.
They're not
I remember
bad.
liking them when I was like 12, and because they're like the first R-rated movies I saw in a theater.
It was
So
the
like,
first
this is
time I saw a
awesome.
Sex scene in the theater.
Nick was jerking it in the back. Back to
Yeah,
the
that's why I'm
theater.
not allowed in theaters
Yeah,
anymore.
he was. Yeah. Damn,
Yeah.
Jeffrey Tubin.
Okay. All right.
At least Pee Wee Herman was in a adult theater.
All right. I have
What if
nothing else.
Pee Wee Herman was watching his own movie jerking off.
I don't think I have
That's
anything else to
OJ.
say about this.
There's one thing this movie needed. It was an OJ cameo,
We had Will Am.
like
He was
like
pretty
the
great.
Will.i.am
Naked Gun
gives-
series.
gives
Will.i.am
Oh, yeah, I
a
forgot
gives a
Will.i.am was-
tearjerker
he gives a
performance in this movie.
powerhouse performance.
Yeah, Will.i.am comes out. He's like, I got a feeling that tonight's
Whatever.
gonna be a good night.
I don't know. I
That's
had more
annoying.
fun with this than I expected. But if I had watched it alone, I think no. I'll do it again.
I mean, I guess I had more fun than I expected, but we're just gonna leave Carter muted. But
That's
for the
2
life of me,
strikes.
I can barely remember anything that happens.
Yeah, we did watch it like a week ago.
Well,
But again,
mean-
it's no, you shouldn't be able to remember anything because it's so incoherent for the most part. How did
Well,
you
I
get
can just
unmuted?
unmute myself.
What?
You can mute me, but I can.
Turn the music off.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're trying to have an actual conversation here.
I am.
No, you're not. You're playing music
just-
that awful quality.
you know,
Will I
goddamn well,
Am?
Will I Am.
It's
wouldn't
relevant.
appreciate that. He's a professional actor now.
Do you remember when Will I Am was in Madagascar?
Yes. Okay. You completely upended the conversation me and Nick were having.
Fuck. I don't know. Scores, I guess.
Wait, we're done?
We were just saying
Do
that
you have anything else to say?
I had more fun with this than I thought, but I don't think I would have had any fun with it if I watched it alone.
I would
So-
say the scene where he's on the chopper and he's driving through the forest is good.
There's some funny stuff here and there besides that.
Yeah, there's some solid stuff. I'll say that. I agree with Nick. I don't remember a ton already.
Well,
It's like it's a good movie to turn your brain off, as they say, and kind of enjoy how dumb and bad it. I would say
Yeah.
this. I liked it more than Resident Evil. I would say that much.
At least that had a
Oh.
coherent plot.
I'd go
I'm saying
there.
out of this one.
At
that
least that
movie's
had decent
boring.
action.
Movie's a
Whatever.
bit of a
Okay, Resident
snooze
Evil did
fest.
not have decent action.
It literally-
Yeah, well, I don't know
Mila
what you're talking
Jovovich
about
was
there.
doing like backflips off the wall and kicking dogs in the face.
Oh, you like kicking dogs? That's kind of.
I said
fucked up.
decent. I didn't say it was
nice.
like amazing. Christ, it's better than this. Do you remember the fight outside the bar in this? Do you remember how that was edited?
Yeah, it was incredible. He threw him into a
It
truck.
was
and the
awesome.
truck
He threw
driver
him
kept
under a
driving.
For
truck
some
of
reason,
logs.
a truck was
That
driving on
came
a
out of
railway
nowhere.
that was on a rail and
In
it
the
was
middle
going
of
like
a rain.
70 miles an hour for some reason.
Yeah, are we gonna talk about the torrent of this movie that they didn't put the CGI in? So it
Oh
looks
yeah, I
like-
sent that clip to an early copy of this was leaked before it came out that had none of the effects in it. So it looks pretty hilarious. Maybe I can like link those photos in the description or something because it's pretty funny.
Wait, there was a version of this that was linked without like.
There
the
was an
special
early
effects?
leak of this that had like none of the special effects or CG in it.
Probably better than
that
the movie
person
we
went to
got.
jail.
no.
The
Well, no,
person who leaked it
because-
was in prison.
But there were just like small like filler things, which it's very bizarre.
Yeah, it's like what they would animate before they like finish animating it. So it's like
it looks pretty
Oh,
funny.
it looks
No.
really ridiculous.
It looks like Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
It's like what the Snyder cut would look like if they didn't give him $75 million. It's like unfinished CGI and like
Nothing.
Did you guys see that Joker picture where he's Jesus?
We'll talk about that.
yeah, it
We can
looks
talk about that
looks pretty
later.
epic.
That's so
Ooh,
All right,
I think you know what? I think we should do a stream of a DCU marathon.
It
That
would
would
be fun.
fun.
We can talk
A
about this
stream?
offline, but I would like to do. It would be cool to record some sort of live stream of.
I
Something.
think we should start doing weekly streams, get some Twitch revenue going.
Well, streaming requires a lot more. This
Yeah,
is not something to
Technical.
discuss.
We can't even figure out
This is
how
not
to do
something to
Zoom
discuss
calls.
right now. Well, I can, but you can't because you're an idiot.
Excuse me.
Scores.
What are you talking about?
Scores?
Uh,
I don't know how to score this, to be honest. I've been
don't
thinking
either.
about this.
I think I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
All right.
Okay, I would not score
Sign.
like that.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know. It was fun. I forgot about it, but it's
I was
like
tempted to give
it's like
this
popcorn.
like a half-star hearts type deal, but it doesn't feel like one of those quite. It like falls in between. It's like somewhere in between like the 5-star heart and the half-star heart. And I don't know how to
Yeah,
do
exactly.
it.
It's a 5 out of 10. It's right in the middle.
No, I said between I meant a 5 out of 10,
exactly.
a 5 out of 10 heart and a 1 out of 10 heart. It falls somewhere in the middle
Oh.
of that I don't know how to rate exactly.
See, any score lower than a 5 to me would be like me like disliking a movie. I really didn't
No, because
dislike
you
much
can
about
give
this
a
movie.
you can give like a half-star heart.
Yeah, that's true. But that's for like stuff I think is like really horrendous. Like
That's
I
like-
don't think this is as bad as people say.
I think I'm gonna go with a 4, with a heart.
Okay, yeah, that's a respectable score. For me, it's like I would watch this again and just have a good laugh with the bros.
That's where I'm with. I'm
I
at.
was gonna say 2 out of 10.
That is totally respectable too. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I understand, especially like I don't care about X-Men, so but if you're like an X-Men
The way-
fan, then this
I know.
might
I'm
be
sure
like
this
angering
this
to you.
probably pissed off a lot of comic book fans.
The way I see it
Yeah.
is what this movie went out to do is like set up all these origin stories, and it
Which is
completely
what's
failed.
hilarious
It's
about
fu-
it.
I know it set it up as like this sort of anthology thing in the title,
Yeah,
and then
but it-
nothing came after it.
And as much as I said it was forgettable, there are like multiple scenes that are very memorable in like their own weird special way. And I love big budget movies that just completely like flopped and look like shit and like are just like a complete mess. And you're like, how did
Boy,
like,
do I have
really
the movie for you.
really like $200 million went into making this like it's
Might-
like that type of movie.
Might
and
I
it's-
recommend Mortal Kombat Annihilation,
I know. I gotta
That is a
watch
really
those.
good bad one. Like,
which is better than this in almost every way.
genuinely,
as far
you
as,
can
like-
watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and be like, what the fuck happened?
It's so hilarious. Oh, I can't wait to watch
It's
it with you guys.
bizarre.
I would
As-
live stream that.
There needs to be a
As far
documentary
as
about that movie.
Terrible movies go, this is one of the more enjoyable ones for me.
All right. Whatever.
But it's not
moving on.
like so good that I'm like
We
giving
get
it
it.
a positive score.
All right, we're moving on. What's your movie? Explain to us your movie.
Piss me off. I'm gonna play I Got a Feeling again.
And no more music. It sounds awful.
Why? I don't understand.
Motherfucker, we'll get the video
Alright.
taken down.
And we'll get the video taken out. How are we gonna make any
No, we
money
won't
off
because
this?
we have commentary about.
That
That's
is
the,
not
it's like
Just
a fair
explain-
use clause.
We're
Black
also
Eyed Peas
on.
when we're
We're
talking
also
about
on.
that.
We
we're on a
talked about Will
time-
I Am.
We're on, we should start a Will I Am podcast.
Transformative.
Yeah, we should. We
All right,
discuss
we're
what
also on a
his
time
whereabouts,
schedule
where we
here.
are.
So
Oh
we,
my god.
we gotta. His little baby has to go to bed early.
No, I don't have to go to bed early tonight. I just prefer not to do it at 10.
Wait,
I got
thought,
work off tomorrow.
I thought the whole reason we couldn't do it later is because you had to get up early for work. Are you kidding me?
I gotta get up at 9, but I mean, I could have done it. I just would have preferred right now. I didn't realize you had class at 7.
I said it Whatever. This is all gonna get cut out. What's your movie?
No, don't cut it out.
I'm gonna cut
Don't
you
cut it
out.
out.
I'm gonna cut you out. I'm gonna cut the bottom of the screen so it's just
So
me
that
and
it's
Nick
just
talking.
you and Nick.
There's
And,
just awkward
honestly, the
silences.
I'm gonna put a
conversation would
giant.
probably
I'm
be
gonna put a giant
unchanged.
censored over your face, over your
over my mouth like Lars von Trier with the duct tape. One of the funniest pictures of all time was that Lars von
Hey,
Trier
what's your movie?
picture. My movie is X, the Man with X-Ray Eyes.
Oh, the worst name of a movie ever made.
There's
Nice.
What are you
worse
talking
ones,
about?
okay?
No, it's X.
I don't know.
No, listen, you got it wrong. It's X, the man with the X-ray eyes.
Oh, is it really? It's
Yep.
not the man with a.
It's X, the
That's
man
even
with
funnier.
the X-ray eyes.
What's
which is
hilarious
awful.
about it is that it's X calling the man with the X-ray eyes, which is hilarious because there doesn't need to be an X calling. I don't understand why it's X.
They do that like it's
calling.
his name, but his name
Yeah,
is not
it's-
X.
His name is not. It doesn't make any
They-
sense.
They knew that someday people would be making a podcast in which
Roger
every
Corman said,
episode,
We need a
in which
movie that
every
starts with X.
in which there weren't enough
Yeah.
movies that started with X on the market. So
Yeah, same with
All
the
right.
people who made the movie X, the movie. Which is one of the funniest titles of all time. But this movie is about a mad scientist, if you will, who's not that mad in the beginning. In the beginning,
as many sci-fi movies start.
starts off just a regular scientist
just
trying
an
to make it,
We're just
Trying to
doing
make
ex-
just
One
experimenting, trying to make a
one year-
difference in the world.
1 second you're running experiments on monkeys, the next second you're
Yeah.
have bleeding red eyes.
Yeah, he
You're
does,
being
he
condemned as the
decide-
devil.
He decides, I know we have X-rays, but for some reason I need to see inside of people.
Yeah, in this
Like that-
children's
so-
hospital.
Somehow
He
that
says he
will
wants
help.
to see what the gods see.
All right, buddy.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't, because he acknowledges that X-rays exist, but I guess they're wrong often. So he needs to have X-ray eyes.
I don't know. They
doesn't
got a
quite add
diagnosis
up.
wrong,
Listen,
so I
but-
guess that he was right.
But
It was.
I
It
mean,
had
yeah,
nothing
he
to
did,
do
He
with.
did save a man's life by
It
like
had
punching a
nothing-
different surgeon who was about to do surgery.
No, he fucking sliced his hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He sliced his hand. Okay. But yeah. Anyways, he invents these eye drops that he tests on monkey. He tests on a monkey which has a heart attack because it can see
No,
through
it
walls.
it goes into shock. It goes into shock because it's has
It
seen too
dies.
much. It saw too much.
It saw
It
what
dies,
the gods
and he's
saw.
like, you know what? I think I should do it.
You know what
now."
this movie is actually about? It's about going to the DMT realm.
Oh shoot! I just hit the microphone.
It's fine. It's not a big deal. But that's what this movie is about. It's about
Yeah,
going
it's
to the
looking
DMT
like
realm.
the DMT realm.
I
behind
think
me right
Joe
now.
Rogan needs to get
Yeah,
X
where's
on his podcast immediately because I think he's charted.
I think this movie is
Fire.
just about LSD, but he puts the eye drops in his eyes, and it starts off really trippy visuals throughout this movie of whenever it shows his perspective. And it starts off he saves a little girl's life by looking at her.
Yeah, and then he
He
pushes
went
his
through
friend
women's
out of
clothes.
the 10th floor window for some
Yep,
reason.
and then he murders a man.
for
doesn't
his
care.
best friend.
You're skipping.
like his
you're
best
skipping.
friend. I
He
just
does
know.
murder
murder
I
a
just-
just,
guy.
The first act of this movie is just him looking at people naked.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot
the
about
first
that.
The first person he looks at is a kid.
Yeah.
Well, he
Pretty
does that
funny.
he does that for
And
pure
the person who
reasons. He
comes in
doesn't
is
do it
like-
to hurt.
The person who comes
So-
in is like what he's like he says
But then There's a hilarious scene where
that, oh
he,
she's pretty, right? It says something like that. Pretty,
yeah, that
isn't
was
she?
weird.
I was like, oh, okay.
I
that's
was
odd.
I was weirded out. But yeah, there's a good portion of this movie where he's looking at naked people and being like, hell, like, yeah, this is
nice.
great.
This is totally normal and okay.
and
And then he tells his colleague, and
fair-
she's like,
and then she's
"Oh,
like,
you
oh,
fucking silly guy. This old ass
But
man
then-
somehow is getting all these women in this club. It's like the Jimmy Stewart effect.
But then hold on, I'm trying to look in my notes.
Oh, you don't have it
Let's see.
memorized?
I said this movie is Lucy but with eyes because
Want to know what I wrote?
did you write the same thing?
Second
Because
note, this is just Lucy, but with eyes. Because
Yeah,
the
because-
beginning is like
he
we only have
says
10%.
he opens it with we only use 10% of our eyes, and
Yeah,
this
I
is
wrote the
about getting
exact
the
same
next
thing.
90%.
It's literally
But
Lucy.
then there's the funny dance scene where
he's like,
he's at a youngsters party and he's
And
doing
he's like-
this, and then he realizes he can look at all of the hot ladies naked, and he really loves this.
he's like,
but-
oh.
But then, but then it turns out he's kind of taking a little peek at some of the dudes too. When right before he's
He
about to go
is.
into surgery, he's checking out the dudes next to him, and he's like, nice.
No, but
job,
I think
doctor."
it would have been funny if, like, to prove his point. Remember when he was proving his point to the one guy who's like, you have a button missing here, or
Mhm.
like
I was
he's
saying that.
what if he's like he
like-
looks down, he's like, you have your penis is exactly 3 inches plastic.
Yeah, it's just
I said,
incredibly
doctor, your nipples are
small.
pierced.
Well, he did that. He literally did that. He was like, "You have a mole on your left thigh," or something.
And she's like, oh,
that to
you're
the
so
one lady.
silly.
And she was like, "Oh, you're looking at me naked even
Okay.
without consent at all." But
We haven't
then,
given our thoughts
Where's-
on this yet.
I was trying to explain the plot until I was.
Are you going
really-
through the entire plot of the movie? Is
The
Well, that's what you're
entire
supposed to
plot.
do. I don't
No,
know how
it's
we
not.
Detail.
we always just
establish-
give a slight
Fine,
overview and then we
fine.
get into plot
ma-
details.
He makes one crucial mistake that forces him to go into hiding, and from
yeah,
the-
pretty
from-
big mistake, which was completely avoidable.
He just straight up chucks a person out of the
Because
window.
he tried to grab his arm. He just throws him out of the window for some
But
reason.
then he has to go into hiding, and
Can
he
we just
tries
talk about
to
that
make his
scene?
mark on the world
I wanna
and
talk
make
about
some
that
cash
scene.
for Don Rickles as well. But
Where
anyways, what are you
that
guys'
scene where
thoughts
he
on
I just want to
this
talk about that
movie?
scene real quick where he murders his friends. Just the escalation comes out of nowhere. Pretty hilarious.
No,
And then the
it is
line
hilarious.
afterwards is like, she's like, "You killed him," and he's like, "Yes." He is my
Yep.
friends. And then the scene kind of ends. And then she like zooms in on her and then she turns around and he's gone.
He does not care. He's like Batman. He was
He didn't
gone.
give a shit.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're-
then the next shot's like him like through the through the
he
hospital.
just the whole movie it felt like he was like a drug addict searching for that high.
Yeah, this is about DMT.
He's found the DMT realm.
But
He won't get back.
then he goes to the carnival, and
Let's give our thoughts first before we
He's
get into.
enlisted by Don Rickles.
Let's give our thoughts.
Pretty hilarious role. What are you guys' thoughts on X, the man with the X-ray eyes?
Snooze fest. Sucked. Hated it.
I actually really like this movie.
What?
I also really liked it. This was really good.
This movie
What the
fucking
heck?
sucks. This
It
movie
was
was
interesting.
ass.
can't
I actually
believe
liked
you.
this.
Nah, this
What the
movie
Yeah,
fuck
I'm
are you
with
talking
Nick.
about
This movie's a-
ass?
This
Nah,
movie's a lot
so
of fun.
boring.
This motherfucker's
It's
gonna come
so
out here and say
boring.
Resident Evil's a goddamn cinematic masterpiece.
Oh,
Next
back
thing-
with
Yeah.
the goddamn Resident Evil again.
Wow.
You said it.
Yeah, no,
You
this
have to-
movie,
This
this
movie
movie's a
sucked.
lot of fun and a lot of cool old effects
Yeah.
with the
That's
eye
the best
stuff.
parts of this is the
Yeah,
sort of
and it
abstract
happens
imagery.
a lot.
That's
I
the
did-
only good part.
It
I
happens
did
a
notice
lot.
that
It's very
sometimes
cool.
when characters are talking to him and it goes into his perspective, they're not even fucking looking at him, which was a little weird.
His
but
facial acting is awful throughout.
No,
He's funny. He was a funny actor. I
no,
liked him.
he
in
is
this.
not funny. He was not
fucking
trying
What
to
are
be
you talking
funny.
about? Who cares if he was trying to be funny? He is funny in this movie.
No, this movie is so boring.
I like the
So
progression
wrong.
of his
This
eyes.
movie's so funny.
No.
This movie's a lot of fun too. He
Yeah.
enlists under Don Rickles, who's a hilarious character
funny
who all he cares about
He's
is
funny
money.
for one scene. He's funny for that one scene in the carnival, and then it's just more boring.
Yeah, I like all the carnival stuff too because it was like
I like the carnival scene because he just for no reason doxed the one guy and gave the entire crowd his social security number for some reason.
He did.
well,
do
yeah, that was hilarious. But
He
that
was being a
also
little asshole.
I also thought it was like the whole like establishing like all the other like circus freaks are like guessing whether he's real or not. It was a neat little touch. And I like movies with like carnival-esque settings too. So I like that it went there. And then the third act has one of the most hilarious parts, which is when he's in the casino and
Yes.
he's winning all the slots machine. No, he's winning at blackjack, but instead of trying to be sly about it, he's like screaming like, "I can never lose! I can never lose!" Like
my
the worst
favorite
thing you can
part-
possibly do at a casino.
My
is,
favorite part
like
is
drawing
when
as
he's like, "Don't
much
bet, don't
attention.
bet."
He goes
Yeah.
over the top at the end, where he's like,
telling
he's
other
like,
people what
he's
to
telling
do.
people what the next cards are.
He didn't
Like,
even care
okay, you
about
didn't have to
winning at
do
that
that.
point.
You didn't have
Keep
to
hitting
do
the
that.
microphone. But
And stop. Just leave your hair. It's not a big deal.
I'm sorry.
Tie it back like I did.
This has one of the most insane endings I've ever seen. Also,
How is
Yeah.
it insane?
Terrifying ending.
are you fucking?
That
But his eyes
final-
just turned red
that
in the movie.
final
Yeah,
ending-
the eyes-
Oh,
the
no,
eyes
his
are-
eyes don't turn red. He scoops his eyeballs out.
The
Huh?
eyes are disturbing, but it's like
He pulls his
whatever.
eyeballs out. At the end, it's like, because the priest is like, the one way to get rid of the devil in your eyes is to like take them out. And then at the end, it's him scooping his eyeballs out. So the final
Oh.
shot is the empty eye sockets, which is really, really dark for when this
That is
came
really
out.
dark. Jeez, I didn't realize he did that. I thought his eyes just like turned bright red and he was dying.
No, and the whole
When did this
his
come
whole
out? The
transformation
60s?
of his eyes is cool.
Yeah, this is 60s.
that's not that
The 60s.
that's not that crazy over the top for the 60s.
I
don't
feel like it is pretty dark.
Oh my
for the
god, people have been
60s.
ripping their eyes out
It's-
since fucking Oedipus.
Of him
You know what?
scooping
I
his eyes
don't-
out
I
for
don't know
like
about
a
that.
more mainstream accessible.
I don't
movie.
think this is a mainstream movie.
Yeah, this
necessarily.
director was relatively popular.
Roger Corman?
I don't think this is
Yeah.
a very popular movie when it came out. I don't think it's like a
He made
widely known movie.
The Hill on Haunted House or whatever. The House on Haunted Hill. That famous spook.
Okay, that doesn't mean that
He
this
wa-
was a.
He was the guy who would run like ghosts through the crowd, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think
That
this
is
was a
not the
very
right guy.
popular movie.
Who was that guy? Who did that?
I want to say Vincent Price, but I don't think it is Vincent Price.
I thought for that movie, guy who put ghosts in the theater.
Put Ghost in theaters.
What?
Man, we're
It was
spending
like
a lot of
skeleton.
time
You
on
guys
this.
can keep talking about it.
It was like skeletons. He would like run through the theater during. the
Yeah,
movie.
guy. Yeah, I thought that was that guy. Guy.
No, it's not
who
Roger Corman.
would run skeletons through
Okay,
the theater.
so
for
you
his-
say okay, you guys claim the like that whole club scene is funny, but like
Oh,
it
it
seems
was
like
William
a big.
Castle. I got
Castle,
him
not-
confused. William Castle. Yeah, I got him confused. He didn't make
not
House on
Price.
Haunted Hill. What did Roger
did.
Corman make that was famous? He made
Chop-
one
Chopping
famous
Mall.
movie.
This is more boring than the
He
movie.
didn't make Chopping Mall. Oh,
This
he
is
made
more
Little Shop
boring.
of Horrors. I believe. Yeah, he made Little Shop of Horrors. I
He was
think.
a
That's a
producer
cut.
of
I'm
Chopping
cutting
Mall.
all. I'm cutting all of this.
Why are you cutting this?
This
Stop
is
cutting
so
stuff.
unbelievably boring discussion.
It's not boring. He made Little
Who gives a
Shop of
shit about you guys googling stuff?
Bro.
He made Bucket of Blood.
Yeah, he made some famous monster movies.
I'm gonna let Diesel do that.
That's great audio right there.
This guy.
Anyways, Nick, let's talk about why this movie is good and not boring.
The contact lens. Mwah. I love all the different eyes. I really thought that was cool.
It was very cool. Yeah, and the like slow progression of his eyes
Yeah.
turning dark.
Like you could
And
first
like
see like
honestly, this movie is more like a series of like vignettes of like stuff he does with his X-ray eyes, and it
Yeah.
works really well. It's
Yeah,
like
and they're
fun.
all like the most obvious shit. Like they didn't do
Oh my
anything
yeah, but
fun with them.
they're executed in
They're like,
very
oh,
fun
what could
way.
you
rob a goddamn
What could you
bank?
do with
And this
X-ray
movie's
eyes?
only,
You could look through people's shirts.
Yeah, and
you
it-
could cheat at poker. Let's just
What
take
would
the
it
most
runs-
boring.
What would you put?
Let's just take the most
It runs through the whole gambit of fun
of like
ideas for
generic
things to do.
X-ray ideas.
Yeah,
like
but
the
it
most
does some-
He's a
generic
doctor.
shit.
Fun
He
way.
isn't the
And
And it's
fucking
not
most creative
it's not
guy.
fun.
79 minutes. It is fun.
It
I
misses
stand
so
by
many
it.
opportunities to like actually make some sort of interesting commentary on anything going on in it.
You
Like,
want
you guys think that-
commentary?
Yes, you think the whole club scene is hilarious. Like, it would have been way more interesting to actually discuss like ideas about like the male gaze and shit like that. But no, like just let's just do
Roger
goofs
Corman
about
did this.
let's just do goofs about this guy sexually assaulting all these people.
You're telling me the
basically.
fucking producer of Chopping Mall is gonna put a goddamn
Okay, just because
male
who I
gaze
don't give a shit
message
who
in
he
it.
is, you can
No, I'm
make
accepting this movie on its own terms. And its own
You
Yeah,
terms.
it's a fun movie. We don't need
that
to,
goes
like-
through the gambit of ideas of in 79 minutes. It goes through mostly everything you could do with a pair of X-ray eyes. And then
world's
it has a
longest 79 minutes.
shockingly dark ending where he
Yeah.
tears out his own eyes. And all of the trippy visuals are awesome.
That's
and
the best
unique,
parts of it.
cool.
It's the
And
only reason this is going above. Like
I
a-
love the whole sciencey thing. I love any movie with like laboratories and like green goop and science and
what
like
green goop. He like poured piss in his eyes. It looked like apple juice. What do you mean?
no, I'm
green
talking
goop?
about like little test tubes with like little bubbling like red things. Like his whole lab. I
no,
love stuff
it was
like that. I
all
love
the sets
sciencey
were so
movies.
incredibly boring. Even the carnival set was boring.
No, the carnival set was
Yes,
not boring. The
it
carnival
was
set
so
was
How was it
fun.
boring?
This movie's so colorful. It's not. I like it. a
It is
lot.
very colorful.
It is very colorful, especially the more abstract parts. But
Hmm
like like the carnival set is a nice change of pace from the admittedly bland hospital setting.
But I will give it to him that hospitals are like generally bland, so not much you could.
Yeah,
do
I don't
there.
care about that so much, but yeah. Yeah, Don Rickles gives a pretty funny performance.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna keep going on and
Hey,
on about fucking Don
roast about-
Rickles.
But what do
wise
you want to
guy.
talk about? You just want to say it's boring and then be
I've
like, all
made
right,
multiple
scores.
critiques against it.
What's your critiques?
That it doesn't do
That it
anything
doesn't
interesting with the
doesn't
extra ideas. It doesn't
Have a deeper message.
That is not the only thing I said. There's a lot of
right, what
untapped
else did you
potential
say?
with the concept here.
I agree that it doesn't like
It just
do much beyond just kind of showing off.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the
But-
performances are standout. I don't think none of like the relationships are developed
Do
in
I
any way that
have
made
to
me
say
care.
Don Rickles again?
He had one funny scene, and then from then on, it was kind of
How
he was just
Dare
there.
you? He was.
And
just
I like
there.
I
the
can
main
give-
He was the
guy
goddamn
for
man
being a
main
behind
goofy
guy-
the
old
wall.
man. I like
The
him.
main guy was
He
not
fun.
charismatic.
This movie was more entertaining than any of the other movies we watched.
This one
I
might be the least fun I had with any of the movies we watched.
Nick, what are you thinking?
I'm
Where
about
do
to
you?
fucking
I don't
die.
want to. I don't want to
Uh,
spoil Nick's thoughts on XXX.
That's true.
What?
I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about this. I just
I
thought
will
it was
say-
very long, boring. 70 minutes. I like the
It's
monkey.
Very quick part.
Um,
Very quick film. Very
no,
fun
felt
film.
very
Classic film
long. Not a classic.
with a lot of cool imagery. So that's
Not
my
a
thoughts on
classic.
it.
I'd give this movie an awesome tacular.
All right, what are your guys' scores then? Whatever. I'm
going-
clearly outnumbered on this one, hence.
What are you going with?
I'm going 7 out of 10.
I'm also going 7 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Guess I'll give it a.
See, I feel like what John's
I guess
experience
my
with
score
this
just
would
doesn't
be
fucking matter.
John's
Eh?
experience with
Wise
this
guy?
would be similar to Carnival of Souls.
I think Carnival of Souls is better than this.
That's wild. That's a
No, it's
wild
not.
take.
That
I'm
at least had
quitting the
interesting.
podcast.
That at least had interesting imagery and
What,
interesting sets.
you've admitted that this has interesting imagery.
The abstract stuff, nothing in the actual like. All the abstract stuff is interesting. Nick
Nick
left.
just quit because of you.
Carnival
your
of Souls is 100% better than this.
No way.
My score is a 4. I'll give it the abstract stuff, and I'll give it a couple entertaining. Oh yeah, eating on microphone is
Man,
gonna
those
sound
Sour
great.
Patch Kids. Yeah, that's
not eat. Do not eat with your
I
fucking
wasn't
microphone.
gonna.
That's so funny. I would
Yeah.
really go for some Sour Patch Kids.
I'll
right
give it a
now.
4.
have
I might go
so
drive
much-
and get Sour Patch Kids because of what
Carter,
you
if you
just
come here, I'll give you some.
I drive. That's not a bad idea.
I have 3 boxes.
You have
this
3
huge bag.
boxes?
Somebody
Oh, I
got-
thought you meant
somebody
like-
got lucky on Valentine's
Like
Day.
boxes filled with bag. Oh, if you know what I'm saying. But
I'll show you what I mean.
oh, okay. I thought you meant like 3 like boxes with like bags in them.
My God, no. That'd kill me.
Are we moving on?
If I eat
Yes.
enough Sour Patch Kids, I
Move on.
start to feel sick. to
No,
my
we're
stomach
moving on.
after a
We're-
while.
Because you blew it on with the scheduling. We have to move on. So, the third and final film of our X
We're entering the
spectacular. If it isn't clear to you guys already, this episode we were very tight. It was difficult to find films that started with the letter X, but we made it happen. And the third one of those is not 1X, not 2X, but 3 X's. And we're not talking about pornos. We're talking about Xander Cage. We're talking about the Xander Zone. We're talking about Vin Diesel in XXX. So, plot-wise, I'll attempt to describe this.
Send
Xander
me this one.
Cage runs some sort of website / television show where he, I think, robs and exposes wealthy people, politicians. It's unclear. Maybe celebrities. He exposes them. He enters the Xander Zone. He does stunts, and while revealing his criminal identity on camera, which is a pretty smart move on his
Yeah.
part to record
But he was
himself.
streaming. He was being
It does.
Did
a
he
gamer,
say he's been
epic
caught
pro
before?
gamer movement.
And then, so yeah, he jumps out of a car with a parachute. It's pretty awesome. He goes back and parties at his crib for a little bit. He has half pipes in there, all the typical gamer stuff. He's trying to get people are trying to put him in video games. It's pretty awesome. And then he gets swatted, I guess, or something, because he
No.
and then he for like yes he did get swatted.
He didn't get swat. He got deservedly swatted
raided.
after. Yeah.
Hey, you
after
know what I
he
mean?
did.
He got raided, and then the government's trying to form some sort of suicide squad deal where they send criminals in to
Dude,
Yeah,
do
this
stuff.
was the
Just pick
original
one.
Suicide Squad. But the
Uh,
problem is with this is that there's no other members of the suicide. It's just Vin Diesel.
And also, the first time they just drop him there without they have him do some sort of test to see if he's worthy to do it, and then they don't explain the mission. They just drop him somewhere, which leads to a pretty insane scene where at a drug farm or whatever with a lot of explosions.
Yeah.
And then from there
Also-
on, he goes on to be a secret agent, I guess, in Prague, and that's where I'll end the description.
Speaking about that drug scene, it's very weird that like Vin Diesel has like these Sherlock Holmes like powers of
He is
deduction in the
no, that
diner
was the scene in the diner scene. He's like
But
turns
as
into
soon as he gets to like a drug field, he's like, "This has got to be the cops again."
This
They
has gotta
clearly have
be
drug
fake.
fucking fields full of cocaine.
no, this
Yeah,
is
like-
fake. No, I'm on to you
Yeah,
guys.
to the point where while he's being tortured, he's still like, "Man, you're going really hard with this. You really want me to believe."
this is a film that answers the question we've all been asking. What if James Bond was really into the X Games? And I mean,
Yeah, what if he drank a ton of Mountain
would he
Dew?
shaken, not
What if
stirred?
James Bond was
Yeah.
a 12-year-old boy in a giant man's
Yeah.
body?
Who
Yeah.
talked, who's semi-inaudible for the whole film.
Somehow Diesel has like less charisma than some of those early Bonds.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
he has
why
less
they-
charisma
talked
than
about-
the old guy in Octopussy.
He somehow has
Yeah,
less.
Somehow.
It's pretty insane. All right, I guess
He's less
Me and
charisma
Carter-
than almost any actor I've ever seen in my life. And he's a mega star.
me and Carter watched this together. Nick watched it alone. So I kind of
I'm
have a
curious
gauge
to
of
hear-
Carter's thoughts, but
Yeah, I'm curious to hear Nick's thoughts.
what Nick thought about this movie.
If anyone knows me, they know I hate the early 2000s. And
I
this is
hey,
like the
know that
most-
about you.
What? I didn't realize that was a
Yeah.
fun.
If
fact
anyone
about-
knows, everyone who knows Nick,
Nick just
he
really hates-
despises the early.
Nick
2000s.
hates post 9/11 cinema.
I
Yeah,
like
because
the early 2000s
it's all by
for
Bush.
movies.
But I don't know. I feel like they should have went all out. Like I pitched a scene to myself and I was like, that scene would be incredible. He gets
Let's
back
hear
to his
it.
crib.
Does it have to do
He
with the
gets back to
skateboard?
his- Yes.
Yes,
gets-
'cause
He
that's
never
the scene I
skateboards in
pitched.
this movie.
I was like, why is he not skateboarding in this
But-
movie?
I
Wait,
wanna
let's
know
hear
how
Nick's
good he
scene.
was. He gets back to the crib and everyone's dapping him up. And he's like, yo, I saw you do that fucking flippy floppy 360 yesterday. And then from the crowd appears Tony Hawk. And he
Wait,
says,
I think
"Oh my
Carter
Xander
thought
Cage."
yeah,
I
a lot
thought
of
Tony Hawk did make a quick cameo. In
Nah,
this.
he wasn't
I might
in
be
this.
wrong.
No,
He
Tony
wasn't.
Hawk would not be in this movie. Also, I like
Yeah,
how,
he would.
What are you talking about? 100 million
Hawk
percent
would be
he
in
would
this
be in this
movie.
movie.
No, he has artistic intent. Okay, Tony Hawk would not be in this. He'd say, "Where's the theme?"
In 10.
Tony Hawk would be. What about like a Shaun White type? I feel like he
Maybe
would
if
show
got him
up
drunk
here.
enough.
Mhm. Any of the X Games.
Like Harrison
guys.
Ford on Star Wars set.
He's got like a bottle of vodka in one hand. Xander Cage.
Welcome to the Xander Zone.
I say that asshole.
So wait, Nick, did you
I-
like this movie?
I don't know. I was entertained, but half the time I was like, "This is really fucking stupid."
I guess my main thing with this is like, I've thought about it a little bit, shockingly enough, since I've watched, is that like, it feels like another missed opportunity. I wish, I don't know if we're talking about the same type of overboard here, Nick. I don't think I think it went overboard enough with the action, but I wish it went overboard more with like skater gamer culture
That's
shit in
exactly
this.
what I'm thinking.
I wish it
thinking
had
we needed
more
a
of
new
that
lead.
in this instead of like,
Yeah,
'cause
I
it
wish
leans
like
it leans far into this because I think the idea of like this fucked up
I love the
James
idea,
play on the
actually.
James Bond, like a fucked up play on James Bond, who's like into like video games and skating and
But I really
streaming.
wish
It's pretty
they knew
interesting.
anything about video games, skating, because
Yes,
Yeah.
they don't say
it's
any video
very-
games. I
it's
think they only
comes
say the
it
word
comes
video
more
game.
off of like a 10-year-old who wants to be into video game
that's
culture,
my thing.
but he's not allowed
Like-
to play any of the M-rated games yet. So it's like
The
what
girl-
he's guessing is video game culture, and like
Exactly.
is like X Games culture is like
which
he's
does
played
lead
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
which does lead to some pretty funny lines, like the one about what does he say to the Prague
Prague and
police?
PlayStation.
I wrote it down.
Oh yeah, something about
He
PlayStation.
says like you need to stop thinking Prague police and start thinking PlayStation or something.
The one thing I wrote
pretty
down is
funny.
that there's a similarity between this and X, the man with the X-ray eyes, and that
He
both
creeps on
times-
women.
Yeah, he creeps on a girl by taking a little peek with
Girl
the
never
X-ray
comes
goggles.
back, by the way. He's like, I think I'll keep these. And it never comes up again, so I just assumed he used them
It's
for
just a
his own
one-off
sexual
joke.
fucked
Yeah.
upness.
Yeah,
It's pretty awesome.
yeah. This movie's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's really
Can we
bad.
talk about? I want to talk
Vin
about
Diesel is a horrible.
This is one of the
lead.
things I zeroed in on when we watched, but the camera angles in this are
There's so
Very
many
bizarre.
weird Dutch angles in this
But
fucking movie.
no. They're not, to me, they're not even Dutch angles. They just look like someone placed, because they're not like fully diagonal. They're like, they literally just look like
Yeah.
someone placed the camera crooked.
It doesn't. It looks like lopsided.
looks
enough,
like-
so
it
it
just
seems
Yeah,
like
it
it's
looks
not
like
done
they-
on purpose.
It
They
just looks
just
like shit. It
couldn't
looks-
quite make it straight. It's like right
didn't
on
go-
the edge of
They
being
didn't
a
go
normal
all the
shot.
way Dutch angle, and they didn't go all the way straight. So they like just, it's at this weird fucking angle. That
Yeah, this
is
whole
very
movie
off-putting. Color
yeah,
grading
looks
looks
very
like shit. It
uncomfortable.
looks
It's very
awful.
gross and like it's very like it's unappealing visually in every way.
and writing,
It's very
right? The
ugly.
writing
Oh my
is
God.
just.
Can we
oh
talk
my-
about
Atrocious.
the
God.
almost problematic villains? Did
Oh.
we really have to have German villains gassing people to death?
that scene?
Oh, I didn't
and they're
even I didn't even
they're like-
make the
They're
connection.
like they're like laughing maniacally.
Yeah.
While they do it.
Also,
I forgot,
The
I
villain's
didn't-
a fucking idiot.
And
'cause
then
he's
Vin
like,
Diesel
I
is
knew
like,
you were a spy the entire time, and I didn't stop you from saving Vin Diesel.
There's
that
like-
one
there's
time."
like double, triple agent shit going on in this.
Yeah.
And
He
none of
Horrible
it.
script.
says, I knew
just
you were a
n-
spy, but he called her first when he figured out Vin Diesel was a spy. So I don't understand
like,
why his plan was there.
In a better acted, directed, written movie, I would have zero problems with like stupid plot twists. Like a lot of times, I think that's just like that sort of convolution is like funny, but when it's just like
Yeah.
impossible to follow along, even like the basic stuff going on, because there's so many times when like Vin Diesel is like knocked out and then just shows up somewhere and then does
Yeah,
stuff, and
it's
then
so-
like scenes they're so disjointed.
Yeah, it's like
and
every
just like
scene ended with
Oh,
Vin Diesel
God.
being knocked out or like captured in some way, and that's how they would get to the new location.
yeah,
And this
it's
movie must have
just-
had a budget of like $500 million because there's so many
from
explosions.
the Fast and the
and
Furious director.
It's just everything about this movie gives me kind of like gross vibes. Like
It's
there's
like
something.
what they were trying to
The
do is they're
avalanche
trying to
scene
be the
is
avalanche scene is the
god
best scene in
awful.
the. No, it's the
The
best scene in the
CGI
movie.
in that scene?
No,
Yeah, it
the
looks
best scene in the
terrible. It
movie.
looks terrible,
It
but
looks
it is the best scene in the
terrible.
movie. It's the only like creative set piece out of the
It's
I
whole.
will
it's
say I
so
did like
fun.
him snowboarding down.
I love how
It's
that they like set him up
hilarious.
as like the mastermind of this plan, and then his whole plan is I'm gonna start an avalanche,
Yeah.
his whole plan is I'm gonna start an avalanche, and then
which
he
is
gets caught
hilarious.
immediately.
That's like exactly what this movie needed to be. It was like take this, like you take the James Bond, like Mission Impossible, like very strategic, like planned out shit set pieces, and just like do away with all that and make it like the most stupid as possible. This is the only time it really does that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that had me looking up for the third act, and then the third act was more of the same. The final set piece with the submarine is
Awful looking submarine.
Yeah,
just
I don't know what the fuck was
forgettable.
going on.
I-
The submarine never goes
I could
underwater,
tell-
by the way.
yeah, we watched this movie like how many days? Like 3 days ago, and I couldn't tell you like almost anything that happened. It happened.
I watched this movie
It's
a
such
couple
a
hours ago.
forgettable movie. The only thing I remember is how much I disliked how it looked and how much I hated Vin Diesel with
I
a passion.
just love how
Diesel
they try to make him do
is awful.
quips, and he's just not good.
He's
Oh
like
my
the least
God.
cool person
And
in the world.
me and Carter talked about this. Is like seeing something like this
Other
gives
than
you a
me.
whole new appreciation for like the Nick Cages and like the Arnolds,
Keanu
the Sylvester
Reeves.
Stallones,
Yeah.
people who
At least
have
those
like
people, like,
Even
put
at
Tom
least they
Cruise.
they
Even
have like
Tom
a
Cruise.
style. Tom Cruise is actually a like good dramatic
He's a good
actor
actor.
too. But
yeah.
but yeah, at least
Keanu
they like
Reeves.
they have like a very specific style that is charming and like easy to and fun to get behind, and like makes you realize that, like having something that takes talent. It's not just like, oh, they're deadpan because they don't know how to act. It's like, no, Arnold is lovable because he knows what he's doing performance wise. Well, Vin Diesel is just here, just
Disgusting.
clearly just looks lost, and like he's just reading the lines. He's not giving anything into it. And
Yeah, it looks like he didn't bother memorizing the script. He would read the line before each scene, and then he's trying to remember it as he's saying it. So
Sam
there's
Jackson
no delivery or anything.
is the only good actor in this movie.
Even
There's
he
one.
is like, even
he-
he
He
is
doesn't
like,
give a
okay,
shit though.
He,
doesn't
yeah,
give
he
a
it's like,
clearly
shit.
was cashing
okay,
a check, but
yeah,
he's still
it's
the
like-
best thing. Even with that, he's still the best thing in this movie.
he's doing
Yeah.
the Sam Jackson voice, so it's like
I'll
you're
be-
still better than most people. Jonathan
Another
is
thing
leaving the
is-
podcast.
It's okay. We can cover without him.
It's very
Um,
weird seeing one face. Did you see what happened there? Is that
I
like
did.
half of his face, one eye?
Yeah, I saw it. I just had to plug
But
it in my
anyways,
computer.
I wanted to talk about Vin Diesel's outfits because oh my god, what the fuck?
That fur
happened?
coat, baby. Oh my
Oh
god.
gosh, yeah.
There's a
Can we
funny
talk about
scene
how
where
he
they
gets to like the field and he's wearing motocross pants? Like,
let's talk about how he gets into a fancy restaurant. Him and his date are only wearing like a
Oh,
tank
yeah.
top, only wearing like a tank
That was
top.
kind of funny visually.
That was a good bit. They're like a
I
couple
don't.
good.
But the thing about
bits.
this movie is, I don't even know if that was intentionally funny or if they were
probably
trying
I
to.
think it
not.
was.
They're like, look how cool
Or
these guys
yeah,
are. They
I was
don't give a
thinking more
shit."
like they don't give a f about the dress code in this restaurant.
Fuck
That's how cool
authority.
they are.
They
yeah,
play video games.
yeah, they're wearing black tank tops. He
Didn't
said,
Vin
"Yeah, this
Diesel
is
in
my
his
black
movies
tie
say-
attire."
He learned how to shoot from FPS shooters.
That's awesome.
Oh no, that's pretty funny. I don't. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I wish they just.
a,
I wish they dug
a
more
massive
into that
missed
stuff.
opportunity to
I
really
could
create
be
a
misremembering
gamer
that or making that
hero.
up completely.
See, if you want a gamer hero, might I direct
Watch
you to
Gamer?
another film called Gamer,
I
which
actually
gets
wanna
it.
watch
A
Gamers
movie that
again.
I want to
gets-
watch Gamer too.
It understands how to treat gaming culture. Well, both does and doesn't, but
We
in the
live
best
a
way.
society.
That
But,
movie
yeah, it's
is.
like- For most of the movie, it's like you have to listen to Vin Diesel talk, and then you're just waiting for something interesting to happen, and it never comes. Maybe there's an explosion.
So many
Uh,
explosions. They like blow it all in like the first scene too.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was saying that
Yeah.
to, like the first scene where he drives off the bridge with the fancy car and
And you got
parachutes
the
down.
music,
It's
it's
like,
get down
I was
with the
like,
sickness.
okay, this could
a lot
be-
of System
the
of a
music
Down. A lot of
choices,
System
yeah.
of a Down with the.
But I was like, all right, this could be like fun. But then it gets to the like 10 minutes later, and he's like doing triple flips on his motorcycle over on a dirt bike over a burning building and he's like kicking people in midair. And I'm like, they don't know how to pace this movie at all, because then it's like 30 minutes of
It
having to
seems like
listen
they
to
like
Vin Diesel
blew all
talk.
of their budget at that drug field and Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and then it's like you have to
And-
wait.
and
You have to
also
wait
it's like-
nearly an hour because this movie's 2 hour.
I was gonna say, and then you realize that the movie is like 2 hours long. You're like, oh.
you have to wait
brother.
like another hour before it gets to another huge set piece like that. It's just, it's a real misfire in like
This is a
every
movie they should
level.
remake.
They did twice, and the second one I'm kind of looking
No,
forward
those
to.
are sequels.
The second one I'm looking forward to.
The
'cause
second one
it's
has
got
Defoe in it.
has
Ice Cube,
Willem
right?
Dafoe and Ice Cube in it. So
Which is-
and it's called
yeah.
XXX State of the Union. I'm kind of looking forward
which
to
is a
that one,
funny title.
which you guys will get at the next X episode.
Yeah. And
You'll
then
get
we'll do
that,
another
and then-
X-Men episode, right? Another X-Men movie.
and
then
probably
X-Men
X
Origins
the movie.
Cyclops.
yeah, I'm either picking X. I think there's a sci-fi movie called The X from Outer Space I might pick too.
All right, not important.
Right.
What's your scores?
Oh, we're done?
We
Okay.
short on time here, brother.
Vincent Diesel. Can we call him that from here on out? Vincent
Vinny.
Diesel.
Vinny Diesel.
He's so unbelievably bad. That's burned in my brain how
Score.
bad it is. I'll give it a 2 out of 10.
Okay, Nick.
2 out of 10.
4.
Well,
I'm
wait,
gonna
what
give Vin
were
Diesel a
your
4.
scores for this episode? 3 4s?
4, baby.
All right, I'm
Now the
interested to
tricky
see
thing is
what his
what
favorite
was my favorite of the bunch?
Well, you know
Interesting.
me and Nick's
Fucking say
favorites. It's
X-Men.
gonna be X,
Yeah,
the man with
X,
the
the man with
X-ray
the
eyes.
What was that?
X-ray
What was that,
eyes.
Nick? What did you say mine shouldn't be?
If it's X-Men Origins,
Oh, it's
Wolverine.
X-Men Origins, baby.
God fucking damn it.
I
why?
respect
the-
that
Why was
pick.
he-
I
That's
had
a
the most
respectable
I
pick.
had the most fun with it. Not saying it's good.
Respectable
I
pick.
was not
I'd rather
Wait,
stick my
Nick,
dick in
which-
London than watch that
the
movie.
hand I was
Which do
dealt
you
with.
like? Which do you like more, XX, Triple X, or X-Men Origins?
Since I'm a real gamer, I like Triple X more.
Whatever.
What a bad.
right, well, yeah.
episode.
Yeah, pretty
There's
an
maybe I
X-Men
think
Origins
statistically
Wolverine game
might
that's
be
supposed to
our
be good.
worst episode.
Well,
Yeah, this
So-
was a
you.
garbage episode.
Speaking
Bad
of
way
which,
to start things
I'll run
off.
the stats on
but-
that stuff. We'll have that
Hey, maybe
answer for
the-
you at the season finale. So quickly
Maybe
now,
the Y episode will be better.
speaking of the Y episode, what did you guys pick? We went with a theme.
Yeah, we went the theme by accident. It
theme.
started with Nick making the fateful pick of yesterday.
Just gave away his pick, man. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot. We're all
Nick, what did you pick? We'll let you say it.
imagining all the.
I don't know the
people
words to the Yesterday song, so I can't sing it. but-
living.
Yesterday.
Boom, boom, boom. All my problems seem so far away.
So yep,
If I say
Danny
this, you
Boyle's
have to cut it
Yesterday is one of it.
Danny
Um,
Boyle, director of 28 Days Later. And
Another bad movie.
Trainspotting.
Shut the
comes-
fuck up.
Yeah, that's wrong.
I'm like the
And
Joker. I'm
then-
like somebody put the
Yeah.
leaf the
You're
crown
pissing
of
me off.
thorns on. Somebody put the crown of thorns on me.
Damaged.
Just goddamn
Carter,
right
what'd you
with the
pick?
hand.
I picked, sticking with the Beatles theme, I picked In the Town Where I Was Born.
Yellow Submarine.
Lived a Yellow Submarine, the classic 60s
And then-
film.
And John
This
picked
last-
Yoko
60s
Ono.
Beatles.
This
John picked
this
Yoko
left-
Ono.
listen, this-
Life
so
or something.
this left me very.
Let's explain. Yeah, explain how this
okay,
connects.
yeah. This left me pretty. They forced me to stick to the theme, which I was against, but because I wanted to pick a good movie. However,
What are you talking
I
about? You picked-
compromised.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want to have to pick Yoko Ono experience
Yeah,
or whatever
you
the
should
hell.
have. You
No.
should have.
So I
You should have
compromised.
picked
Yoko
the
Ono
Yoko Ono
experience.
documentary.
And due to the fact that Kanye West had a collaboration with one Sir Paul McCartney, we're watching the fan-made Yeezus tour documentary.
film.
Come back.
No, it's not it's a
Um,
concert film.
Concert film.
The unauthorized 2.5-hour Yeezus cut.
Which may be my most
It's
anticipated of
2.5
the
hours
three.
long.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited.
I've seen it already. I think I've seen Yellow Submarine. We could, if I watched yesterday, we could record tonight.
Yep. So those are the
No,
three.
I haven't seen any.
Oh, you better get to it then.
Well, I'm about to go watch.
Nick, you trying to
Monterey.
watch yesterday with me?
No. I
Right
want to watch
now?
yesterday. I want to watch yesterday.
All right, then let's save it for later then.
Yeah, we
I'm
can all
about to go
that
watch
together.
Monterey Pop again. And
Again.
see if I have for class. See if I
Yeah,
have a.
I would like to debate you on Monterey.
We'll see if
Pop.
I have a change of.
I can't believe you said that movie's technically incompetent. That made me
Did I say that?
sick. Yes, you did.
It's
that
not
made
as
me sick
technically
to my
impressive
stomach.
as Stop Making Sense. But,
Don't care. That movie captures of the vibes.
oh yeah, you were there.
Than any
Oh, you were
movie.
there. Stop Making Sense.
It ju- captures
just
the
shut up.
vibe
Just shut
of
up.
that concert better than any other movie.
Oh yeah,
of
no
that
other movie
experience.
captured that movie, so by default it would be the best. So
No, it
I'm gonna go
captured the
watch You
vibe of
versus
like a
Wild.
group setting of
Uh,
watching something.
no matter what, I guarantee I won't like it more than this. Not making sense.
I
so
don't care.
whatever.
You're comparing it to
Are
what
we,
many consider the best concert film of all time.
But who
Are we
knows?
doing-
Pop.
Maybe I'll have a
I think
change of
Monterey
heart.
Pop is the best concert movie of
Christ.
all
And with
time.
that, we're cutting.
Are
we're
we
cutting.
doing
Wait.
recommendations
Don't
or
cut
no?
yet. Don't cut yet.
I have
We
3
gotta-
minutes. Okay,
We gotta
quickly.
do what?
Quickly give a recommendation.
Recommendations?
Quickly.
Yeah.
I'll go first. You versus Wild, the Bear Grylls movie. It's really fucking weird. And you can make him do terrible things like swallow a leech whole and it gets stuck in his throat.
Yeah, I want to do that. I'm trying to
Alright.
do
It was
that.
fun.
That sounds fun.
I recommend
actually fun.
a new release, Minari. Most impressed I've been with a new release since.
Damn it, I wanna watch it.
probably. I can send you the
Yeah,
link.
me too.
I can send it to you guys if
What
you'd like.
the what?
Yeah, I got a screener from Stephen Yoon himself. Whatever. Don't worry about
You
it.
know Stephen Yeun?
I'd recommend.
But yeah, that's most impressive I've been with a movie new release since probably Uncut Gems, which is over a year ago. So
I'd recommend. Wait, you like it more than World of Tomorrow?
These
3?
nuts.
feature length, I should have said.
Okay.
And I might like it more than World of Tomorrow 3.
I recommend The Dirties, the found footage film, The Dirties, and
Meh.
also Dog Day Afternoon is good.
Oh, so you just get
Those are
2.
both good.
Oh, you just get.
This guy's
fucking
always
two. Carter
gaming
wants
the
all
goddamn
recommendations,
system.
guys. Fucking
Sorry.
Carter.
Okay, fine. Then just the Dirties thing.
Well, I guess I already
It's too late.
recommend.
You already said it.
I got to recommend Mortal Kombat Annihilation and Gamer. So
Yeah, you've recommended movies throughout this podcast.
all right,
I'll recommend Hands on a Hard Body.
I'm saying goodbye. We'll be back.
I'm saying goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.